Hello and welcome to ANOVA. This is an explainer video for users who typically manage teams and have been granted access to their own exclusive ANOVA dashboard. Getting set up. Your organization administrator is responsible for setting up who has dashboard access and what level of data they see. If you're a user that's been set up to receive dashboard access, you will receive an email that looks like this. Or this. Follow the instructions to set a password, making sure it's something memorable for future. Once you have set it up, you can log into the platform. First, look at the dashboard. When you successfully log in, you'll be presented with the main dashboard landing page. Let me show you around. The top section here has the data filters. These can be used to select data points and slice and dice the data to your heart's content. More on that later. The headers you see across here are the titles for a set of questions, or survey group. Each survey group has an average of about 8 questions within it. Some have more, some have less. These top 4 survey groups are what we refer to as the bottom line measures, i.e., they directly impact the financial bottom line. Moving down, the survey group headers in these white boxes are split into surveys that ask questions about the self, the team environment, and the organizational context. And each of the headers within the white boxes also represents a survey group. These measures also impact the bottom line, but have a greater focus on employee sentiment and well-being. Loading survey data. You may have noticed there is currently no survey data to sink your teeth into. Your first task is therefore to get that data loaded. Select a survey from the data point filter list, then press the filter button and watch the numbers roll in. Once data is loaded, the dashboard gives you a high-level overview of survey averages. Now that you have data loaded, a sneak preview of free text comments for EMPS can be seen here. And, at the bottom of the page, suggestions of actions to take based on the current dataset have also appeared. The left side, Keep Doing, picks up the highest scoring questions within self, team, and organization to make you aware of any particular strengths and to give tips on how you can maintain the score. The right side, Focus On, picks the lower scoring questions within self, team, and organization and gives a suggestion of possible ways to improve the score. If you average over 50% for everything, no recommendations will appear for Focus On. Getting into the question datasets. To move away from the dashboard survey averages and see how respondents have actually answered questions, you will need to click on the More Info buttons, or on the left-hand sidebar. The bottom line measures are all accessed through More Info, whereas the survey groups for self, team, and organization can be accessed through the sidebar. When exploring the sidebar sections, you'll be presented with a list of all the questions that were asked within either self, team, or organization, depending on which sidebar section you've clicked on. To isolate a survey group, you can click on More Info and it will only show the questions within that survey group. For the majority of questions, you will see a stacked bar chart which indicates what percentage of people responded in what way. The blue and turquoise colours indicate people responding positively to a question, whereas the pink and purple indicate people responding negatively. The grey indicates people who responded with neutral, which could mean they do not feel strongly one way or the other, or they have not had experience of the thing being asked. It's okay if you don't remember this though, as the colour key for each question set can be found at the top of each survey group. You will also see the number of people who responded to each question down the right-hand side. Some multiple choice questions have the option for respondents to enter their own responses. These can be found by pressing any drop-down arrows that you can see, which look like this. Using the filters. The data point filter allows you to browse different data sets. When selecting a survey, You will see during selection if the survey administered was a full survey, meaning all of the questions available to your organisation were asked of all employees, or if it was a pulse survey, meaning a subset of questions was asked and possibly not sent to the whole organisation. Depending on the way your organisation and user has been set up, you will then have the choice of a number of filters to explore the data. Some users will have filters restricted to their own teams or location. The filters can be used to explore differences across teams, locations, roles, and other demographic information. Multiple selections can be made to enable you to drill down and fully explore the data. Once you are happy with your filter choice, you need to press the Filter button to action the changes. These changes will stick as you continue to explore, delving into the survey data through the More Info and Sidebar selection points. To reset your filters or to apply new ones, navigate back to the dashboard, select Clear Filters, and start the process again. Anonymity. Anonymity is very important to us at Anova. We want respondents to feel confident that they can answer truthfully and openly without fear of feedback ever being used against them. Because of this, we have restrictions in place whereby you will never be able to filter to less than 3 people in a group, and answers will not show unless at least 3 people in a specific subset have responded. This error message will appear if you try to filter a subset of data that has less than 3 people who have responded. Understanding the data. Dashboard. The dashboard simply shows an average of all responses to all questions for each survey group. Averages are only to be used to indicate what is scoring higher or lower, and to give a rough guide as to what to explore further, or differences between groups. If you have scores over 60%, it means people are more likely to feel positive about what is being asked than negative. If you've run more than one survey, there are arrows which show you whether survey averages have gone up or down since the last time the same survey was sent. If it is the first time a survey was asked, it will not have an arrow. Employee Net Promoter Score. ENPS is scored slightly differently to other survey groups because it's a publicly available measure used to help gauge employees' likelihood to recommend the organisation as a place to work. It is scored on a scale of 0 to 10. Promoters are those who choose most likely to recommend the organisation at 9 and 10. Passives are those that scored a 7 or an 8. And detractors are 0 to 6. The minus 100 to plus 100 bar chart is the overall ENPS score and is calculated by subtracting the percentage of detractors from the percentage of promoters to give an overall benchmarkable score. To learn more about ENPS, watch this video. Delving into the question set, there is a second question about the organisation's products or services. And at the bottom of the page, there is a drop-down menu to read through employees' free text comments. Reporting your findings. An easy way to report findings is to focus on the percentage of people who have agreed and strongly agreed, or disagreed and strongly disagreed. In this example, 33% of people disagreed that the people in their team talk to each other in a clear and respectful way, with the remaining 67% of people feeling neutral. In this example, 100% of people disagree that their manager is accommodating to their life outside the workplace, as 33 plus 67 equals 100% disagree. Grouping it to agree and disagree makes it easier to report. Questions that have a high neutral percentage mean there could be opportunities for quick wins by raising the profile of the behaviour being discussed. Free text questions. It is important to keep in mind that each free text question is one individual person's thoughts, and not to get too hung up on individual comments. When looking through the free text, Try to identify common themes, good or bad, to get more valuable takeaways. We hope that you have fun exploring the data, and if you have any questions about using the platform, please email support@myanova.com.